rubbish, furniture, household appliances dumped in the street. It's not an unusual sight for the average Gibraltarian, but it's an even more common one for the Department of the Environment's litter enforcement officers. Although you can dispose of these items at the Civic Amenities site on Europa Advance Road or the Eco Park on Devil's Tower Road, Litter Enforcement Officer Mr Marfe says many people leave rubbish of all kinds propped up by bin stores instead. What sort of things do you tend to find when you come and look at these bin spots?
Anything from a whole house to, fridges, washing machines. They just throw anything that they can. They're too lazy to take it to the dump. But a lot of people don't realise that there is a process that we can find them. Normal plastic bags would be £70. Anything like we have here is £250 because it could have nails. It's classed as dangerous litter.
You've been examining some of the stuff that's been left here today. What sort of thing do you look for?
Envelopes with addresses, bills, anything that can point us in the direction of who has dumped it.
Here at this bin store, we've seen a whole fridge dropped off here. What happens to this now?
Britannia will come around when they do their rounds and they'll collect it, they'll pick it all up and take it away.
And how often is it you see this sort of large appliance and all the other collected stuff that we're seeing there in front of us? This is just in one day we've seen quite a lot.
Many times daily. There's always one spot here or there. Usually the cameras deter them, and we have loads of cameras around the estates. But some just don't really care, and they just dump it where they want.
Well, one thing you've mentioned is that some of the CCTV cameras have been stolen. So can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we've had 22 cameras stolen in the last 4 years. It's a shame because they do work, but then obviously people get annoyed of being fined and they retaliate by either breaking them or stealing them.
And is it a case that you deploy the remaining cameras in different locations at different times?
Yeah, we move them about because otherwise we wouldn't be able to keep track of all the places that we need to have some surveillance.
How do you decide which places to go to? How do you work out what goes into the day of a litter warden and what areas to tackle?
Every estate. We go to every estate daily. We stay longer at some places because they're bigger estates and more rubbish is, and we try to identify who's thrown the rubbish there. We ask people, we converse with the public to see if they know or have seen, and people do help. Some people do help, and they let us know who's done it, or where they came from, which block, and then we start investigating them areas.
We're here now in Main Street as opposed to a residential estate. What are some of the problems that you find in this area in particular?
This is a hot spot. Every day people come from their houses on the way to work and they just dump the rubbish by the litter bin, which that's for litter, that's not for household rubbish. And some days mountainous of bin bags are deposited, and then we have to wait for Britannia when they finish their rounds to come and collect it, which looks really bad in the main shopping thoroughfare in Gibraltar.
As a litter enforcement officer, what message do you have for the public as regards the whole situation with litter?
To please deposit of their rubbish responsibly and not leave it in the street. At the end of the day, you don't really want to go to court. Legislation is there in place to find them, and you're probably liable to spend more money on the lawyer and the fine than you would on getting man in the van to take it away.
GBC will bring you further features on the Department of the Environment in coming weeks.